Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
There's always dawn somewhere in the world. It fascinates me. When someone is in the middle of the blackest night, someone half a world away is experiencing the joy of a new day. That's how life is. There's seasons of light, there's seasons of dark. I can hardly believe that just a little over a year ago, my family was on Lanikai Beach watching the sunrise over these two small islands known as the Mokes. I was booked to speak in Honolulu, and this trip seems like an even greater blessing considering how this year has unfolded. Now, some days Kim got up to watch the sunrise while I stayed back as the kids slept. Some days we traded places, and a few times we went together as a family. Every morning's show was unique, but it was always spectacular. A living watercolor painting with a cavalcade of new colors seeping into the sky. The kids enjoyed scouring the beach for treasures that the sea brought forth during the night. I can't help but wonder now, after this slog marathon of a year, if I'll ever go back there with my family. And I don't mean necessarily that specific beach, but any beach, far away from any fear wrought by a pandemic or civil unrest or divided nation. I wonder if a time will ever come when the future looks bright and hope isn't constantly being trampled underfoot. Will this dark night ever lift? But then I remember something about that week. We didn't have to tune into the television meteorologist to tell us if the sun would rise each day. We didn't have to wonder or cross our fingers and hope for the best. It just did, just like it always does. And we're also on the beach at night a few of the nights, and when it was so dark that the ocean could only be heard, not seen. I didn't bother worrying that it might stay that way forever. The sun would most certainly rise again, in time. And yet, when we find ourselves in the middle of a dark and lonely season of life, it can feel like the sun will never shine again. But alas, it's always darkest just before dawn. Maybe you find yourself there right now. There's no reason to lose hope. You just need to hold on. Dawn is coming. It always does. Another thing to think about, even though we had gotten up early, made it to the beach, had we been looking west, we would have missed the sunrise entirely. It still would have happened, but we wouldn't have seen it. Perhaps you've been missing some of the magic currently happening in your life because you're not looking in the right place. In some ways, this has been a dreadful year, but in others, it has exploded with new opportunity and unveiled some hidden blessings. So, yeah. I'm confident that although things seem bleak at the moment, this pandemic too shall pass. Darkness will dissipate, and we will see that we weren't really as divided as we thought we were. And we will be back on the beach to soak in the sun and bask in the blessings that arrived during the night. This painting is a reminder that in these dark nights of the soul, sometimes we need patience, and sometimes we need a new perspective. Either way, dawn is coming.